Hey, what's going on, YouTube? So I've decided that I'm going to start this video series. It's a two-part video series called How Can Black Women Divest from Themselves? Again, there's going to be two parts, and this is going to be part one. But the way I'm going to do it is a little different from the way I normally do it, because this is a promotional video for a video that I actually produced concerning this exact topic in this Facebook post that I uploaded about a week ago. And it's been on Black Avenger TV uh, for that long. And originally what I was going to do was I was going to take what is now going to be part two, and I was going to promote that video over on Black Avenger TV on what is now going to be part two, and that was going to be the video that I was going to make over here as part one. But I decided, after giving it some thought, that these two issues, while they are connected, obviously, they also address two different parts of the spectrum when it comes to the ratchet ill behavior and even mental illness of black women who talk about divesting from a very blackistan, which is their mirror reflection, their shadow. And it's just like I told you guys in my last video about ancestry.com. How is this new to y'all? How is this news? How is this shocking? And I asked black women the same thing. You talk about you want to divest. Black women divest now. I saw some bimbo putting that on Facebook. I made a video about it. Some chick that got run over by a car in Miami. She had posted this just about a year before she was killed in Miami, and her thug boyfriend was paying all kind. Well, her simp boyfriend was paying all kinds of tributes to her, and she's co-signing sneak dissing black men with black women divest now. And I asked the same question. How do you divest? How do you separate yourself from yourself? That's very you know, one of these so-called sisters, I know a lot of black women watch, and some of them stalk my platform. Now, normally I don't directly address black women on my platform, okay? Because to be quite frankly, I don't really trust none of y'all, okay? But for the sake of this particular question that I'm going to address, and you're going to see why I address this the way I do. You're going to see it firsthand in the video that is in the link in the description box, which is the video that is that is a two parts of this part one, and part two, a part two series is coming out soon. Well, a one part two series is coming out soon. You're going to understand exactly what I'm saying. But I need one of you females that, um, either claim to, be on the see from the black man's viewpoint, even though I'm sorry, I don't trust most of y'all. I just don't. That's why I normally don't address y'all. You know, I say every once in a while I'll thumb up some of your comments if you say something that makes sense, but I've learned to take everything that a black female says and does with a grain of salt. Because I know there are some of y'all that are true to your word, but a lot of y'all will turn. You will turn just as quickly as I can turn around and, look at the other side of the street. You will turn, okay? But since so many of y'all seem to want to come here and claim that you're down with black men. I gotta ask you a question. How do these whores that say that they want to divest from Blackistan, and we all know what they mean, okay? And you're gonna have the likes of these feminists like Lori Lightfoot, um, hitting these talking points when she comes to power in Chicago. They're talking about divesting from these Pookies and Ray Rays that have been, um, you know, at the forefront of commentary on black YouTube as of late, within the last few recent months. How do you divest from your own spawn? How do you divest from something that you raised to be that way? How do you divest from your own behavior? And again, it's a rhetorical question. But maybe some of y'all can help us, can provide some detail into what makes these females think that they're going to outrun their own shadow. Last time I checked, I know some people have tried it, but the last time I checked, you can't outrun your own shadow. Just like you can't duck your reflection. So if you can't outrun your shadow and you can't duck your reflection, how do you divest from Blackistan when Blackistan is you? I'm, I just, it's mind boggling. I know a lot of these females, they are emotionally distraught and psychologically disabled, psychologically needy, maybe a more politically correct term, but still, there has to be, a lot of these females, they have degrees, or they go out, they do stuff, they drive cars, they're going to school. There has to be an inkling of intelligence in there that, is like, knock, knock, who's there? Where somebody knocks and they open the door and say, hey, could you explain this? No, I understand your theory and what you want, but before we get to that, I need you to explain this, because we can't get to where you want to go until you explain this, until you justify this, until you make this make sense. And if you can't do that, then you're not really ready to address the problem, because again, you're not going to outrun your shadow, and you sure in the hell ain't going to duck your reflection. And I got bad news for you black women who are silently watching, thumbing down and flagging my videos and other black brothers' videos. And, trolling every once in a while to get blocked and deleted, and then coming back with different accounts or with some Captain Save a Ho simp sitting on your couch playing Madden all day in dirty socks that he should have changed a week ago. Your reflection is these Pookie and Ray Rays. Your shadow is your daughters that grow up to be ratchet little thought bots that continue the cycle of dysfunction through breeding Pookies and Ray Rays and exhibiting behavior patterns that Pookies and Ray Rays pick up once they spawn them. Okay? So it's obvious, just looking at this picture, you can get a pretty good idea of what that video is going to be about. Okay? I'm not going to say anything about it here, but I guess I could go ahead and ask that question here. But I want y'all to go, because the hardcore version is, again, in the link in the description box. I need y'all to answer this question. And then I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. And again, this is part 1 of a 2-part series. There's actually going to be 3 videos, including this one and the one in the link in the description box. Black women, when you have one of your fellow sisters, because I don't even use that term with y'all, because it's a term of endearment, of camaraderie that I really don't think that, I don't see a connection between the modern day black man and the modern day black female. I just don't see it by and large. There are some individual, but I just don't see it by and large. But let me ask you a question seriously, because I know a lot of y'all are mothers. When you have a fellow sister that dresses her child in this, and in all fairness, I've seen worse, but when you have a fellow sister that dresses her child like this, and that child 10 years from then grows up to be a thought and a baby mama at 15 or 16 years old and a juvenile delinquent, how do you blame anybody other than that sister that not only produced this child, but abused this child psychologically in this way? Or I don't know, knowing a lot of y'all, some of y'all may actually think this is appropriate for a little baby girl to be wearing in this pose. I don't know. But seriously, how do you address anybody else about this? How do you not see that this is Blackistan? This is where Blackistan starts. This is where it's rooted. Who else is to blame? The no good daddy? Oh wait, he's not around. Just no. Seriously, I want y'all to address this. This is for black women. They call themselves good black women. How do you explain this? How is this not Blackistan? How do you as black women divest from this when it wasn't a black man that dressed his daughter this way? It was a black woman. How do y'all address this? You tell me. Talk to you later, guys.